After hearing about the fabled City of Gold earlier in their adventure, the courier finds themselves trapped at the Sierra Madre Casino. Built before the Great War as a luxurious casino resort, this eerie place is now haunted by nightmarish enemies and covered in a deadly red smog. Along with an assortment of other twisted inhabitants, the Sierra Madre is home to the ghost people. These mutated humans are forever trapped within their hazmat suits and dedicated their lives to hunting the holograms that can be found around the resort. Oh, and if they spot an outsider, they have a nasty habit of dragging their victims into the Red Cloud, never to be seen again. Creepiest of all, players that delve too deeply into the Vault's computer logs are greeted with an alternate ending to the entire game. After reading a forbidden entry, the courier is trapped in the Vault forever. It doesn't finish there though. The courier is replaced with a new hologram designed to continue their life, wandering the Sierra Madre to be hunted by ghost people for all eternity.
A means of allowing even the dead to begin again.
Unassuming from the outset, most players won't have given Matthew's animal husbandry farm a second thought. Behind the quaint exterior, though, lies a series of tragic events. A spot of detective work reveals a young boy's scattered notes throughout the burnt-out location. He and his family had once lived happily at the farm, until the parents travelled to Camp Searchlight one fateful day. Sadly, they arrived just hours before the Legionnaires dumped barrels of nuclear waste into the town. The residents, including the boy's parents, were instantly transformed into feral ghouls. After waiting days for his parents to return, he finally set out to find them, and find them he did. The boy's ghoulified parents attacked him like wild dogs, but he managed to kill both before they could eat him alive. The boy then began to slowly lose his mind. His journal recounts how the animals around him were evil and that they were combining forces to kill and eat him. In a desperate attempt to outwit the animals, he burned the farmhouse to the ground. The charred ruins reveal his skeletal remains, finally at peace from the cruel wasteland that stole his innocence. Instantly unsettling, the old nuclear test site is fenced off and patrolled by packs of ghouls. As the name suggests, this was once a place for testing nuclear bombs. A small shack within the grounds can be found, in which lies the body of a young woman named Trash. Trash's diary reveals that she decided to go into the site to expose herself to radiation in order to become a ghoul. Unfortunately for her, the early signs of ghoulification, skin shedding, hair loss, sickness, were actually just normal effects of radiation poisoning. Rather than becoming a member of everyone's favorite skinless community, she managed to irradiate herself to death. To pile on the irony, the old nuclear test site is actually one of the least devastated places in the Mojave Wasteland. In true Fallout fashion, the area designed for the testing of nuclear weapons was left virtually unscathed by the Great War's atomic fire. Ever since we began resting the bodies of our dead underground, humanity has shared whispered stories about graveyards. From huge burial grounds to single unmarked graves, myths and urban legends have persisted. There are several graveyards to be discovered around the Vegas Strip. Legend has it that if you turn your music all the way down and visit these places at night, you can hear the ghostly murmurs of the souls that dwell there. As most of the series is bound within its admittedly loose interpretation of science, such supernatural happenings are particularly creepy. Then again, maybe you're so jacked up on Jet and Psycho that your brain is simply deteriorating and causing you to hear things that aren't there. And to be honest, we're not sure which is more scary. Big Mountain is a scary place. Cold winds echo between the rusting machinery. Lobotomized wastelanders wander mindlessly. Skeletons roam the long-abandoned research facilities animated by robotic harnesses. The X-66 Hexcrate Archipelago lies in the far south of this hellbound place. It's on the list not only for the terrifying enemies that stalk through its maze-like environment. There's also something utterly unnerving about those towering hexagonal prisms. They appear to have sprung up from the ground with uneven spacing and height, like some great tumor erupting from the earth. There seems to be no reason for their existence, and most disturbing of all, they seem to be spreading. The pillars are the tallest in the center of the archipelago, towering stories above you. But as you venture outwards, they get shorter and shorter. Like a tumor, they've extended from the point of origin, slowly working their way towards the surrounding landscape. The only clue we have regarding their true purpose lies in a scrapped ending. A cut line states that Goodsprings was crushed beneath bizarre hexcrate blocks that stacked to the sky. Creepy stuff. NIPTON exists to teach you one lesson and one lesson only. Don't with the Legion. Venturing towards NIPTON, you run into a powder ganger outside the front gate, bragging about how he's just won the lottery.
Who won the lottery? I did!
It's only when you enter NIPTON that you realize just how lucky he was. Lining the streets are makeshift crosses, decorated with the corpses of crucified townsfolk. The Legion themselves stand on the steps of the town hall, and the leader, Volpes Inculta, explains just what has occurred.
Don't worry. I won't have you lashed to a cross like the rest of these degenerates.
According to him, NIPTON was a modern Gomorrah filled with gambling and sexual immorality. Therefore, it had to be punished. Everyone was forced into a lottery, with the winner receiving his life. The second place contestant was also granted life, at the cost of their legs. Everyone else was crucified on the spot, and anyone who tried to flee had the Legion mongrels set upon them. It's a horrifying scene you'd be wise to keep in mind when deciding whether or not to join the Legion. There aren't many luxuries in the Mojave wasteland. In a world of bloatfly meat and iguanas on a stick, a steak dinner is one such luxury. The Gourmand restaurant inside the Ultralux Casino is run by the mysterious White Glove Society. With years of customer satisfaction, meals are prepared by famous chef Philippe. The society's members can be quite unsettling. Clad in formal attire, from the back, they look relatively normal. However, seeing them from the front reveals white masquerade masks as part of their required dress code. There's also the issue of the White Glove Society's history as a cannibalistic tribe.
But there's a bit of a problem with the main course. He's got a powerful and temperamental father.
Thankfully, management claims that these monstrous activities are entirely in the past. All those recent disappearances you've heard about have perfectly reasonable explanations. Surely the records of Philippe's most delectable steaks being served after those disappearances is just coincidence. That's all fine though, because management has assured us that the rumors are lies and slander. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have a reservation that I simply cannot afford to miss. Philippe is serving up one of his Mojave famous special meat pies.
My daddy's gonna kill all you bastards once he finds out what you done to me.
QUARRY Junction. Evil lurks here. Worse than the cursed halls of Dunwich, less friendly than the boughs of a feral ghoul nest. Here be death claws. QUARRY Junction is where the hopes and dreams of new players go to die.
Hold up. There are death claws all over the damn place north of here.
Odds are, on your first playthrough of New Vegas, your goal was to make it straight to the titular city. For some reason though, Goodsprings citizens insisted you take the southern route. You were warned of Deathclaws in the quarry a ways north. But hey, you've played Fallout 3. Everyone knows that Deathclaws always travel alone. They're not so bad. What do these uneducated wastelanders know anyway? It's time to venture through the quarry. You might not know it just yet, but your fate is now sealed. This old NCR limestone quarry is inhabited by a huge pack of deathclaws, far stronger than those seen in the previous game. You'll be pounced upon in seconds by multiple deathclaws with armored hides that negate bullet damage. After being shredded a few times by these vicious creatures, most will relent and take the southern route to Vegas. Make the mistake of venturing inside the caves though, and you'll run into the Alpha Deathclaw and his matriarch, twice as strong and twice as fast as their offspring. You'll soon miss your old alien blaster as 50 cal rounds bounce off like BB pellets. There's no winning move in Quarry Junction, just give it a wide berth and let some other sucker wander in. That's it for our creepiest locations in Fallout New Vegas, though there are absolutely a ton more, so let us know what we missed in the comments below or some of your favourites. This has been Dash for Curse saying thanks for watching, and as always, enjoy the game.
Have you done all we asked?